In a bustling city, there lived an old man named Ethan. He was known throughout the neighborhood as the wisest man around. People would come to him with their problems, and he would listen patiently, offering advice that was both simple and profound. One day, a young woman named Sophie came to visit him. She was visibly distressed, her eyes red from crying. Ethan invited her in and served her a cup of tea. "What troubles you, my dear?" he asked gently. Sophie took a deep breath and began to explain. She felt trapped in her job, overwhelmed by her responsibilities, and burdened by the expectations of others. No matter how hard she tried, she always felt like she was falling short. Ethan listened silently, nodding occasionally. When Sophie finished, he stared into the distance for a moment before speaking. "Would you accompany me for a short walk?" he asked. Confused but curious, Sophie agreed. Ethan led her to a nearby park, where a large tree stood at the center. Under the tree was a wooden bench, where the two of them sat down. Ethan pointed to the branches above. "Do you see how the tree lets go of its leaves every autumn?" Sophie nodded, unsure where this was going. "It knows that to survive and thrive, it must release the old to make way for the new," Ethan continued. "The tree does not grieve for the fallen leaves because it understands that this is a necessary part of its cycle." Sophie listened intently, beginning to understand the metaphor. Ethan turned to her, his eyes soft but penetrating. "We are often like the tree, holding on to our leaves, our possessions, our fears, our attachments. We think that by holding on we are protecting ourselves, but in reality, we are limiting our growth." He paused, letting his words sink in. "To find freedom, we must learn to let go. This doesn't mean we stop caring or give up on our responsibilities. It means we release the grip we have on things that burden us, so we can make room for new opportunities and experiences." Sophie felt a weight lift off her shoulders as she absorbed Ethan's wisdom. She realized that her struggles were not insurmountable. They were simply leaves she needed to let go of. She thanked Ethan profoundly and promised to reflect on his advice. As Ethan watched her leave, he smiled to himself, knowing that she had taken the first step toward finding her freedom. And so, the wisdom of letting go continued to spread, one person at a time, in the hopes of setting them free.